Thanks, Tiffany. We're on set now with Cobb Commission Chairman Tim Lee. Chairman, thanks for taking time to be with us. Just looking back at the last month, some really exciting things have happened here in the county. I think the biggest outstanding one probably was that groundbreaking for the Braves. What were your thoughts about that event?
Well, first of all, it was a milestone we were all looking for in the whole process of the Braves Stadium being built. But I think that's when it really hit me that this is actually happening. I mean, we've been working hard with a lot of folks, the staff and Braves in the community to get to that point, and to have such a huge event occur in Cobb County, just kind of celebrating a milestone of breaking ground of the new stadium. It was exciting. It was really, really exciting.
Well, they made some big news that day, too, because they announced it as SunTrust Park, which is, that's what we're going to be known for, at least for the next 25 years. The thing that I noticed, when I was driving around the site and coming out to the event, was there was a tremendous amount of construction equipment out there, and they're moving those pipes. Any update on how that's going?
Well, it's actually going ahead of schedule. The good weather has been very, very good to them. They've been able to move a lot of dirt off the site that they've had to, and of course the good thing there is that through the DOT, both with Georgia and Cobb and the surrounding cities, we've been able to move that dirt with very little interruption to the community around. So I think they're moving a truck a minute or something to that rate. It's really significant. And if you go by each day, you will go by, you'll see a different profile on the property as they not relocate the pipe per se, but they put in new pipe so they can divert the gas, and then they'll remove the old pipe and begin digging down. So we anticipate you'll start to see the actual stadium come out of the ground in January next year. So they're moving along fine. The good weather, hopefully it'll stay with us for another 2 years, and they'll be able to get done ahead of schedule.
As I recall, one of the big sell points on public funding being involved in the stadium project was that it would bring some economic growth to the county. Are you seeing that? Is there any impact within that district or that area around there that we're seeing some positive returns already?
It's amazing, but yes, it is already. Since the announcement in November of last year, values have gone up around the area. And we've seen some significant investment going on by other folks. For instance, I have on the table, there's 2 proposed Class A office buildings coming in our way. There's a couple hotels that are being considered being built, not to mention the projects with the Braves themselves. The entire community seems to be reinvesting, shining their shoes, cleaning up a little bit, getting ready for the arrival of this new huge community. And it's important to understand that their investment is going to be, even just the investment of the public-private partnership is going to return to Cobb County more than we're actually investing in it. So it's a great win-win for us. It's a great win-win for the Cumberland CID, and it's a great win for the properties around that as we have new investment around the stadium.
Yeah, it was just a few weeks ago they had a groundbreaking up at McCollum Field, the county airport, for both a new control tower and then Customs is going to actually have a new station up there as well. And it brought to mind that this brings a whole new level of business service and really customer service to Cobb County. Is this the type of things that lead towards economic development, or something I heard you coin recently was economic expansion?
Yeah, recently I've been talking about economic expansion as an extension of economic development. Development is where you're trying to create, if you would, new enterprises within your community. Expansion is where you take what's here and you expand it into bigger and better capabilities. And the airport's a great example. We've, over the last several years, been moving to more of a corporate environment for corporate jets. And as we made the runway longer and built the corporate hangar, jet hangar to get ready for it, one of the things we learned was that the capabilities of those jets can go from here to Europe, but they had to stop somewhere and it went back. So to make it more user-friendly, more customer service, that's why we needed to go to a Customs so you can come directly into us rather than stopping somewhere else. So that is expanding, if you would, the existing services that we have out there to attract new economic investment. Versus we have in a pipeline now some projects going on where we're actually bringing in new companies, and we consider that to be economic development, if you would. But overall, we're trying to float the entire boat of Cobb County throughout all of Cobb County to make it more attractive for businesses to do business and enable them to, if you would, contribute to the high quality of life that they chose to come here for to start out with. Right. And so we don't want to lose our eye take our eye off the ball, that the quality of life of the individuals that live here and employees that work here is what brings folks here. Yeah, the low taxes are good, the excellent services are well appreciated, but it's the quality of life overall, however you define it, is what folks find attractive about Cobb County, why they keep coming back. So we're doing what we can to keep it fresh. We also want to look to the future, Robert. The people that are graduating today from Kennesaw State University, from Southern Poly, from Life University, and from Chattahoochee Technical College, they're graduating thousands of young kids, and not to mention not too far down the street with Georgia Tech and the folks down there. There's a great, if you would, a great opportunity for the kids as they grow to come in and be a part of our success. But we have to be responsive to that, to their needs as well. And so we're looking through the economic development and our competitive edge, creating what we want to call a sense of community that's more attractive for kids coming out of college, so they'll reinvest. I kidded someone the other day, I said if we had a reunion for every kid that graduated 3 years ago from a Cobb County school in Cobb County, I'd say that most of them had to commute into Cobb to get there.
Right.
And we want them to stay here, more important than that. So we're going to start working on our economic expansion, thinking about today's 12-year-old, where will they be in 10 years, and what do we have to do today to create an environment that they'll want to stay in Cobb and call Cobb home. The businesses we're targeting today are working with our school systems to develop curriculum that'll get them ready for jobs that haven't even been thought of. And it's important for us to continue to do what we need to keep those kids once they graduate here. So economic expansion, economic development, economic growth, it all comes in one thing, creating and continue to create quality of life for the businesses and people to work here. And that'll be a focus point until the day, hopefully, that it never actually comes to an end, but we've certainly got to keep regenerating.
Now, talking about quality of life services here, there's a very special segment of our population, which were veterans of our military service. Recently, the board approved partnering, I guess it was with the state or the feds, on putting a veteran service center. Tell us about the thoughts behind that and where are you guys at on that project?
Well, ironically, it started with the airport. The vets came. There was a bunch of veterans that wanted to come to me and talked about the aviation museum and started talking about why they wanted the museum. They said there's a lot of veterans here in Cobb County. And then at about the same time, we were approached by the state saying, you know, there's a lot of vets in Cobb County. And to be honest with you, I was unaware to the extent. But once we dug into it, realized not only are there a lot of vets in the county, but or surrounding county, and there's not a service location anywhere near here. Really? Okay. So the state asked, is there any way we can partner together? And we said, of course. Immediately stood up and found out what it is they needed, found out that we worked with them over at least 6 or 7 different locations to make sure it was convenient, accessible by the majority of the people they service, and would add value to the vets here in Cobb County who we value their contribution to this country so much. So we worked with the state to find some space just up the street in Powder Springs Station, and we're going to be opening that, hopefully having a soft opening in the next week,
really?
A grand opening in the next couple of weeks to make that available to the end, towards the end of October for veterans and their families to access service levels. We're extremely excited about it because it brings closer to home and closer to the vets of Cobb County is what they deserve, which is somewhere to try to help make their life more comfortable.
Those partnerships make a lot of sense, and certainly we'd like to get you back on the show here maybe in the next couple of months to talk about our partnership with Driver's License Services, those two new locations in Cobb, as well as the Managed Lanes project coming up I-75. We've got to get back to Tiffany. Thank you for taking the time to be with us.
My pleasure.